Okay, so here we are. So, my friends, we had started with the sources of finance and we had started the discussion about its advantages and disadvantages from the perspective of the company. So, I guess we had completed equity capital in very extensive manner. Pros and cons were explicitly discussed. Now we are moving to loans and borrowings, and I'll be going through some of the very practical aspects of it. Everyone, please put your focus. So, as you people are aware about it, the term loans is basically the money we borrow from the financial institutions, from the banks, from some high net worth individuals, from some other form of business organizations. But it is basically repayable after some number of years, after some number of periods. And obviously, the one who is giving you the loan is not doing the free voluntary service. वो आपकी सेवा के लिए नहीं है, right? So he or she charge the interest on the loans and borrowings given to you. Let's discuss the advantages and disadvantages of it from the company's point of view. So these are basically the features of the loan. Loan may have the security, may not have a security. So if the loan is secured, you must have heard about this word, frequently. Sir, loan is secured. Loan is secured. What do we mean by that loan is secured? Can someone tell me the definition of security? What is it? You can unmute yourself. You can put through the chat box. Anyone? Mr. Dhaval is saying collateral. Ms. Devanshi is saying assets are attached to loan. Now words are coming. Attachment is slightly understood in a different context. It is on a mortgage, right? Mortgage is a word. Good. So you people have got the brief idea about it, but let me just clarify that where to use which kind of terms. So my friends, as conceptually aware about that some assets are kept as a collateral in case you make the default in payment of loans and borrowings. Now there are three types of securities. I'm not saying that all the loans are secured. There are three types of securities. One is hypothecation, second one is pledge, third one is the mortgage. Now hypothecation, if I give you the example, the car loan you take, no, that is the classic example of the hypothecation. Because in that, the possession of the property remains with the loan taker. So say you are taking the loan, the possession of the property remains with you. You take the car loan, car remains with you. Obviously ऐसा तो कहीं पे नहीं सुना है कि पहले कार का इंस्टॉलमेंट पे कर दो फिर जाके कार लेके आना, कार तुम लेके जाना इधर से, ऐसा सुना है? You enjoy the car in this duration of the loan you have taken, that is the hypothecation where possession of the asset remains with the loan taker. It may be a pledge. Pledge is something where the possession of the property remains with the person who has given you the loans and borrowings. So it remains with the bank, it remains with the financial institutions. So gold loan is the classic example of that, where the possession of the gold will remain with the financial institution, and in return they give you some loans and advances. Once you repay back your loans and advances, the possession of the gold and jewelry would again be given to you after the maturity of that loan period. That's the pledge. And there is a mortgage. Now mortgage is used extensively for immovable properties. The properties which cannot be moved from one place to another place, like land and building. In that, the word mortgage is very famous. So if the charge is created on the building, it may be a mortgage. So house loan you take, no, home loan, that is a mortgage. Commercial property loan, mortgage. So those permanent structures which cannot be moved from one place to another places, if those assets are kept as a collateral, they are called as the mortgage. So this kind of the three charges may be there, this kind of three securities may be there on loans and borrowings. Now if the loans would be unsecured, obviously the interest rates would be very high because these people do not have any security. So if there are some assets left with you and you are putting that as a secured asset, as a collateral for taking the loans and borrowings, then the interest rate would be less as compared to the unsecured loans. मार्केट में तो 30-30 35-35 40-40% की भी लोन मिलती है भैया अनसिक्योर्ड वाली, तो ऐसे लफड़ों में कभी पड़ना नहीं है. Now interest payment and principal payment, loan amortization schedule, we people are aware about it. So basically it accompanies the equated monthly installments. Now it may have the yearly installments as well. Some of the loans may have the lump sum repayment. So say within a 5 years there will be no EMIs but installments, but the lump sum repayment would happen after 5 or 10 years, whatever the case it may be. So it depends on the type of loan you take. There may be a restrictive terms, but that is again dependent on the financial capacity of the firm. The restrictive terms for Mukesh Ambani would be different from the Anil Ambani, obviously. So what kind of the restrictive terms may be there imposed by the banks and financial institutions? There may be a restriction on the board of directors. You may not appoint, you will not be able to appoint the board of directors, any of them, without first taking the consent of the loan giver. But that happens only when you have taken the significant amount of loan and you have got too much of risky position. If it is the Reliance Kinda company, देन तो बैंक मैनेजर आपके दरवाजे खटखटा के आएंगे और सर 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 करके बोलेंगे और प्यार से आपको बहुत सारी चीजें खिलाएंगे पिलाएंगे और बहुत बातें करके बताएंगे कि हम बहुत फॉर्चुनेट है कि आप हमसे लोन ले रहे हो. लेकिन उसी जगह पे अगर अनिल अंबानी भाई साहब होते तो आपको मालूम है कि बैंक कैसे लोन देती है उनको. Reducing the proportion of debt from capital structure. So they may put the restrictions that, see, in your capital structure, first of all, you will have to reduce some portion of debt, then only will be able to give you some fresh loans. Because if the position of the company would be too much risky, then we do not want to take that much of a risk. We want to give you the loan only up to a specific debt to equity ratio. After that, your position becomes risky, and obviously our position becomes risky because your position becomes risky. That's what the banks and financial institution may say. Periodic information to the financial institution. Whatever the new thing happens in a company, you may have to inform those banks and financial institutions priorly in advance or after the occurrence of that event, whatever the case it may be. Restriction on giving loans and advances. ये तो ऐसी बात हो गई भैया कि तुम किसी और से लोन लेके दान करते हो. ये भाई साहब तो बहुत दान करते हैं लेकिन पैसे कहां से निकाले, किसी और से लोन ली है. Now you take the loans and borrowings from someone and then you give the loans and advances to someone. So banks may put some restrictions on your sanctioning of loans and advances to other people, right? So that again depends on loan to loan, depends on the financial stability of the company or firm, depends on various other aspects as well. Restriction on credit period of the debtors. So basically the time period you allow to the debtors is also a kind of a loan you give to the debtors, right? Debtors are those people to whom you have sold your goods and services. They will repay back that money after some number of years, some number of months or periods, whatever the case it may be. Now, bank or financial institution may put some restrictions on the credit period, because higher the credit period, higher the chances of bankruptcy, higher the chances of bad debts. And if there will be higher bad debts, obviously the company will be in a bad situation. And if the company will be in a bad situation, obviously the bank or financial institution will also come under the pressure to recover back the money. So this may be the terms imposed on the company. Let's go through the advantages of term loan finance. First and foremost advantage, I had also put the emphasis on the same while dealing with the equity, that interest is a tax deductible expense. टैक्स के कैलकुलेशन करने के समय इंटरेस्ट को एक्सपेंस चार्ज किया जाता है, जिसके कारण the profits of the company gets reduced. Because of the fact that profits of the company gets reduced, the tax liability will also get reduced. That is the first and foremost benefit of the term loan. The interest is a tax deductible expense, unlike the dividend. Dividend is paid once the taxes are paid to the government, once every payment are done to the outsiders. Then if some profits will be left, that may be distributed to the equity shareholder in form of dividend, but they cannot be charged as an expense. That's why interest is effectively not the cost for a firm. The actual cost for a firm will be interest minus some tax savings you do, because you are charging it as an interest. That was discussed in the equity finance as well. It does not result into dilution of control, my friends. Unlike the equity shareholders who will constantly interfere into a management and governance of company, who may change the board of directors as well, who may change the rules and regulations of the internal company as well, who may pass some resolutions which can result into some significant change in company's environment. That does not happen with loans and borrowings. They do not have the voting rights. They do not have any shareholding only. So owners will remain different from the people who have given the loans and borrowings. Payments are limited to interest and principal. See, that's an advantage. You are at least rest assured that this is the money, maximum money you are supposed to take out of your business. What happens in case of equity is that you don't know your fixed obligation. How much dividend would be asked by the equity shareholder? We are not aware about it. They will keep on raising their expectations as and when the companies are earning more profits. If the company is in a growing stage, expansion stage, at that time the equity shareholders may keep on expecting more and more dividends. But that does not happen with loans and borrowings. किसी बैंक ने आके आपको बोला, ओहो भैया बहुत अच्छा काम करते हो, चलो इंटरेस्ट बढ़ा दो. No, that is fixed. And once it is fixed, whether you are earning the profits or you are not earning the profits, even though you are growing exponentially, rapidly, still your obligation remains same. You are rest assured कि भाई इतना ही पैसा निकालना है बिजनेस में से. Maturity of the loan can be synced with the period for which the firm needs funds. Now what happens? Let me just give you the example. Say you require the funds only for 5 years. How many years? 5 years. But if you raise the equity capital for this equity shareholders will be permanently in the business, even after this 5 years. But sir, we wanted these loans and borrowings only for the 5 years. So we take it only for the 5 years. And once this 5 years will be over, once we'll have our own reserves and surpluses built out of the profits of the company, then we'll repay back the money to loans and borrowings. But equity shareholders will be permanently in. So if you want to get the money for a very specific period, say 5 years and 10 years, and then you are confident enough to generate the internal money from the company, then loans gives you the added advantage, because after 5 years they will be out of your balance sheet. That's the advantage. Cost of issue of loan or debt is significantly lower than preference and equity capital. My friends, what happens in the equity capital is that, say it is a public company, then first of all you will have to take the permission from the Securities and Exchange Board of India to issue the initial public offer for the public issue. Then you will appoint the merchant bankers, then you will appoint the underwriters, then you will appoint one company which will be handling your entire issue. Then you will issue the prospectus. Then investors will apply in your IPOs. Then the allotment will take place. Then the shares will finally be distributed to the shareholders. Now this entire process takes a lot of legal burden. You will have to appoint so many agencies, you will have to take the permission from so many legal authorities. That is a very time consuming process. That is also very costly process. But if you want to take the loan from someone, then you just go to the bank manager, you present your financial statements, and if your financial stability is found good, straight away the loan would be disbursed to you within just few days. So the issue of loan, the cost of issue of loan is significantly lower than other sources of finance. और उसमें भी अगर बेटे आपका फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन अच्छा है, आप कोई टॉम डिक और हैरी नहीं हो, आप कोई चंदूलाल मगनलाल और छगनलाल अगर नहीं हो, और आप मुकेश अंबानी हो, तो बैंक वाले आपके पास आएंगे, बोलेंगे कि आपको लोन चाहिए तो आपको आने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो कॉस्ट है वो बहुत कम हो जाता है. फिक्स परसेंटेज डेट provides a protection against high inflation. Now that is a bit technical point. Let me take you to the Excel file to explain that in a better way. Say, my friend, you must have heard from some of your relatives who are businessmen, who are engaged in some selling of goods. जब इन्फ्लेशन होता है ना, तब धंधा करने में मजा आता है. अब ये क्यों होता है? See, inflation is an economic situation where the prices of goods and services are getting increased due to some economic indicators or problems or issues. Now say if the potatoes were selling at 5 rupees per kg, just giving you one simple example. And the demand for all the potatoes was say 10,000 kg. You were selling 10,000 kg of potato on a daily basis. So say you had one shop at the marketing yard Bedi here, and you were handling this business, 5 rupees per kg, 10,000 kgs were getting consumed on a daily basis. Now say if the market price gets increased, instead of 5, it reaches to say 20 rupees. Try to understand this point. Then some of the basic necessity kind of things like potatoes, the vegetables, those commodities, their elasticity of demand is not very high. Uh, even though you increase the price, their demand will not be affected much. आपने सुना है कि किसी ने पोटैटो कंज्यूम करना बंद कर दिया, 20 रुपए के हो गए तो? हम शाक में क्या खाते हैं? ज्यादातर तो वही उसी का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, खाते हैं, खाना ही पड़ेगा। मैं ऐसा नहीं कह रहा हूं कि बिल्कुल अफेक्ट नहीं होगा। पॉसिबल है कि from 10,000 kg of consumption it may reach to a 9,000 kg of consumption, but it will not reduce significantly because it's the commodity of necessity. Now what happens because of this? Say you had kept 10% margin in both of these occasions as a profit. Then what was the selling you were making earlier? 5 rupees multiplied by 10,000, so it reaches to 50,000, right, on a daily basis. On a 50,000, say 10% is your margin of profit. So how much profit you are earning? 5,000 rupees profit you are earning. But at the same time, when 9,000 quantities sold at 20 rupees and you have kept 10% margin, possibly your margin may also get reduced. There is a possibility. I'm not saying that you will keep the same margin in the inflation, but let's assume that we keep the same margin of profit in the inflation. Then 9,000 multiplied by 20. So how much? 1,80,000. That is the daily sales you will be making. And out of that, if say 10% is a margin you have kept, so 18,000 rupees of profit you will add on a daily basis. Earlier you were just adding 5,000, now you are adding 18,000. That's why this businessmen say कि जब भाव बढ़ते हैं ना तब धंधा करने में मजा आता है क्योंकि इन्फ्लेशन की पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट व्यापारी के ऊपर आती है. If the prices are getting increased, then the business house who are dealing in the goods which are not very much elastic to the prices, they will always be in some beneficial terms. Now let's apply the same concept when it comes to the debt. You have taken some loan which is the fixed percentage loan which will not get deviated over a period of time. Say 8% is the loan per, just a second. Huh. 8% is the loan interest you have taken. Now, if there would be too much of inflation, say the inflation rate turns out to be 10%, then your revenue gets increased by 10% and your expense is also getting increased by 10%. We are applying this 10% straight away on your revenue as well as on expenses. But my friends, revenue side will always be higher than your expense side, right? That's why you are doing the business. That's why there will always be some incremental profit you will be making. If you have got the fixed obligation, so any kind of the expenses where you have got the fixed obligation, they do not change with the level of output or the level of amount of sales. Those fixed expenses are good for you when the inflation rate is too high. I'm straight away talking from the perspective of the company. Please understand it in a very layman language. You are doing the business because you want to keep your revenue side higher than your expense side. So profitabilities would obviously be higher in those situations. And if you have the fixed obligation, you know that you are not going to pay even a penny more for the loans and advances you have taken. But what will happen if the profits are increased and you have taken the equity capital? Then equity capital may demand the higher dividend in that particular period because they are the owners, and if they see कि यहाँ पे हनी है तो वो ऐसे दौड़े दौड़े खींचे आएंगे, डिविडेंड दे दो, डिविडेंड दे दो. But that does not happen with the loans and borrowings. Now one more point is, say the effective cost for you I always talk it from the perspective of the investment as well. That many of the students used to tell me that, sir, in 2009 and 10 we used to get 10% return on fixed deposits. But do you know what was the interest rate before that? At that point of time, the interest rates on the loans and advances you were taking was also quite high. The inflation rate, my friend, was also quite high at that point of time. It was somewhere around 8 to 9 percentages on a yearly basis, the retail inflation index as well as the wholesale price index. But if you take the era just before 2019, after Corona, the dynamics have changed, obviously, because that was some really uncertain event. Let's remove that Corona period. And before 2019, if you take, then from 2015 to 19, the inflation rate was somewhere around 4 to 5 percentages. So you just tell me, if you are earning 10 percentage and inflation rate is 8 percentage, then your effective return is just 2 percentage, right? Because say you get the 10 percentage return, but similarly at the same time, the prices of the goods and commodities are also increased by 8 percentages. So whatever you were purchasing with 100 rupees yesterday, you will be requiring 108 rupees now to purchase the same quantity of goods and services. And if you earn 10 percentage return on that investment, so effective interest you earn is just a 2 percentage. But right now, if you take the example, if I tell you about 2019, so that time, say you get the fixed deposit interest of 7 to 8 percentage. But at that time, if there was just a 3 percentage or 4 percentage of the inflation rate, then 4 percentage was the effective rate of return of yours. That is what the bare minimum requirement of any financial advisor. His or her task is to beat at least the inflation. Otherwise, you are there in a negative return. Say you get just 7 percentage return on your investment and inflation is 10 percentage. What is the meaning of this? All the goods and services you are buying earlier, now you will be paying 110 for the same quantity of goods. And your fund will be increased just by 7 rupees, 107. Your purchasing power has reduced. So you got to compare your return with the inflation rate. Now that is from the investment point of view. Let's assume it from the loan point of view. Now you are taking the loan, then the high inflation becomes good thing for you. Because inflation is increased, your prices of your goods and services which you are selling will get increased. But the percentage of loan you have taken will remain constant. That will not get changed. So high inflation is beneficial when you take loan, and high inflation is a disadvantage when you invest. When you invest and you get some percentage of the return, it's a disadvantage. High inflation is a disadvantage for you at that time. But when you take a loan, then high inflation becomes an advantage if the loan is at the fixed percentage. I hope you are getting my point. So at the time of inflation, the debt gives you a protection against the high inflation. Now, disciplining effect, the next point. My friend, आपको मालूम है ना कि जैसे ही लोगों की शादी वगैरह होती है तो थोड़ा सा डिसिप्लिन आ जाता है. सिंगल में से अगर मिंगल होते हैं तो डिसिप्लिन वैसे ही बढ़ जाता है. थोड़ी जिम्मेदारी होती है कंधे पे तो फिर डिसिप्लिन इफेक्ट आ जाता है. पहले तो होता था कि चलो मुंबई जाके आते हैं, गोवा घूम के आते हैं. But now you'll not be able to take such decision instantly, right? Because there is some responsibility. If you know that you are supposed to incur this much of fixed obligation anyhow, then you will always be in a constant run to perform better. Let me tell you one of my personal story on that. when I was working as the training manager in Birla Sun Life and Insurance, at that time, at one point of time in a 1 month, I couldn't perform well in terms of sales. So I went to my manager and I said that, see, since last 2 months, I'm not able to make good amount of sales. What could be the reasons behind it? He said, you take a loan. I said, what? How do you correlate the loan with my performance in terms of sales I'm doing? He said, you take a loan. Then he showed me some data of some of his previous employees. After they had taken some loan, their performance got increased in in sales, in the incentives which they were earning. Now, the potential reason is a psychological change that takes place, you know. Now you have got some fixed obligation to pay. So your efforts, your determination, your dedication towards the things gets increased a bit. Let me tell you one very funny example again. There was one of my friend actually. We were very young at that point of time, kids. So my native place is at the Talalagir. Some of you who are belonging to Rajkot may have heard about it. So we used to go to a cricket field, you know, to play the cricket on a daily basis. At somewhere around 5 to 6 p.m., we always used to go at one ground. And one river was there next to that ground, and some canals were also there, you know. Through those canals, the water was transmitted to various fields and farms. Now there was one of the canal which was somewhere around the length, the width of that canal was somewhere around 10 to 12 feet actually. So there was one my friend, and who was little fatty, you know, who couldn't run very properly. He was little fatty, थोड़ा सा ऐसा बड़ा गाय था. तो हमने साइकिल वाइकिल वगैरह सब साइड में रखी और वो फेटी के पीछे कुत्ता दौड़ा. So one dog started running behind him, and he started running fast. And we were surprised. I mean, see, the dog was there behind him. We couldn't even imagine that this fellow can run so fast. He used to get runouts in all the cricket matches, you know, we played. And then there was a canal and he was stuck. Then what should he do? Then without any hesitation, he crossed that canal entirely. That was a 10 to 12 feet canal, the width having the 10 to 12 feet. He crossed it. And we were surprised कि my God, इसने पूरा canal cross कर दिया. So there are some people जिसके पूंछ के पीछे अगर आग लगती है तो वो दौड़ने लगते हैं और एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी परफॉर्म करने लगते हैं. So there are two types of people, you know. One are जो इनको आप ऐसे थोड़ी सी हड्डी दिखाओ तो वो दौड़े दौड़े आते हैं. Those are the incentive oriented people. There could be potentially two reasons behind your performance, you know. One is the incentive. You receive some incentive, you want to perform. और कोई कोई लोग ऐसे होते हैं जिनके पूंछ के पीछे आग लगती है तो परफॉर्म करते हैं. अब कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं रहा. पापा ने भी बोल दिया कि कुछ पैसे नहीं मिलने वाले हैं, तुम्हें जो करना है वो कर. फिर अचानक पता नहीं क्या हो जाता है कि ये भाई साहब अच्छा अर्न करने लगते हैं, वेकअप सीड वाले. So that brings a disciplining effect, you know. So some amount of fixed obligation you should keep on you. That will bring some disciplining effect on you if you are not the incentive driven person, if you are facing some issues related to inspiration or motivation. Anyway, it's easier for management to communicate last one, to communicate important information to private lenders than to public in capital markets. Now, the people from whom you have taken the loans and advances, they are limited in numbers, right? Few. So if you want to convey some important information related to company, you can straight away have a personal one-to-one communication with them, and there won't be any communication gap. There won't be any miscommunication between those parties and your company. But when it comes to equity shareholders, if company wants to pass some information, then there is a high chance that equity shareholders may misinterpret it because they are large in numbers. They are driven by some irrational sentiments. They are driven by some behavioral biases, you know. So in that case, it's very difficult to convey the right message at the right time appropriately to the equity shareholders who are many in numbers when it comes to public company, obviously. But it's easier to communicate something that happened in a company in a very lucid language without any misinterpretation to the people from whom you have taken the loans and borrowings. So that's again the added advantage. If you deal with a small amount of people, it's always the added advantage. Then there are some disadvantages as well. May I have a confirmation from the students that you are absolutely clear till now, all of you, through the chat box, please? Good. Received it from various students. Good. From Bansi, Dharam, Mohit, many, Jigar as well. Miss Sethi, good. Okay, so it's 9:45. I guess you will have the next session just in 5 minutes. I'll not be taking the disadvantages today. We'll continue it in the next session. So please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance. That's it from my side. If you have any queries or question, I'm there with you right now. Bye-bye. Take care. Sayonara. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Sir,
Yes, please. Yes, Jigar.
sir, nowadays it is happening that the FD rates are continuously decreasing and
Mhm.
the inflation rate is continuously increasing.
Very true. So this is the time you should. Very true, Mr. Jigar. That's a very practical doubt. This is the time you should move your assets from the fixed income generating securities to the equity. Why these equity markets are there at such a good level right now? The primary reason may be whatever you have said right now. Because of the
Yeah,
fact that you are getting the less interest on the fixed income securities and the inflation is also rising, that's why people are moving their money from fixed income securities to the equity markets, and that's why the equity markets are there at the skyrocketing limits right now.
yeah, but equities have the risk of losing personal finance.
Very true, very true.
So
So
what to do in that case?
there has to be a trade-off between the risk you are taking and the return you want to earn. Now in that case you can also protect yourself against the inflation. There are few strategies, investment strategies, where you can protect yourself against the inflation. There are inflation adjusted bonds, Mr. Jigar. The value of those bonds gets increased by the percentage of inflation. So say you had invested at 100 rupees, and if the inflation rate is 10 percentage, then the value of bond automatically gets adjusted by 10 percentage inflation. Those kind of bonds are also issued by the government of India, which protects you against the inflation. There are few other techniques as well. We may discuss it at some time in a detail. Is it clear, Mr. Jigar?
Okay, sir. Oh, yes, sir. I will take the tips from you later.
True, true, true. You can also search about that inflation adjusted bonds.
Okay, sir.
That gives you the protection against inflation.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.